Oh, there we go. Fucking hell, man. Like, OBS, you gotta get your shit together. It deselected my mic option. Anyway, I did my whole intro. Twerkers, jerkers, lurkers, witches, liches, bitches. Johnston Black was one and only. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, figured just before I start drawing, just to clear the air of what's going on with my sister. Yeah, she is having like some money troubles, and um they're kind of like well, it's a lot of debt. But she's working two jobs. She's doing the DoorDash thing, and one of the other jobs is like a factory job, and she just got promoted to like an assistant operating position, which is like pretty high level. So she's getting a pretty like decent. She's getting pretty decent pay, like I think over 20 something an hour or something in that range. But it is pretty good. But however, like the reason she is in such big money trouble now is because she had a falling out with a longtime friend, and apparently like this friend was like in love with her and whatever, and um like a whole bunch of stuff happened. Like the time when she moved to Vegas to help me out when I was living there, like he somehow perceived that as some sort of like betrayal because he was so in love with her and thought they'd be like living together forever or whatever. But when my sister moved out to Vegas to help me out, he just couldn't deal. But then when she moved back, like he did what he could to help her out, and once he got like a girlfriend on the side, like his attitude just switched, and he started going off on like how my sister was using him, this and that, and like how he was so in love with her and all this bullshit. And like fucking my sister did give him a chance, like she's gone out with like a few guys here and there, but then like this guy was always there for her, and she would ask him from time to time, was like, hey, do you want to give us a shot? But he kept turning her down. And nowadays he like kind of like turned around and like fucking flipped the script on her, like talking shit, mad shit about my sister to his new girlfriend. And his new girlfriend is just like fucking in a way of like manipulating him to just fucking be as shitty as he can to my sister. And like, fucking dude, my sister did give you a chance, but you fucking turned her down just because you didn't have the balls to do like to just go for it. But now like all of a sudden, like you're in this relationship and you're granted the balls now to fucking be as shitty as you can to my sister. Like fucking fuck that guy. But I guess what happened is that after my sister had her accident, like this guy stepped forward and like, hey, don't worry about anything. I'll cover all the bills, and just until you can get back on your feet. And my sister's like, cool. So like my sister took a while for her to, like get another job, and she's had to go through several jobs because some of these jobs were just like hard on her back because of she couldn't deal with it because of the car accident she was in. But now she's in a very good place, but fucking asshole former friend just went on a bitch fit and demanded like all this money that he had like spent on her, just like covering all the bills and costs and whatever, and demanded like $10,000 up front. And I wish my sister could have handled it better, but she went ahead and took out like several personal loans just to appease this fucking asshole. But she says like it is what it is. At least he's out of my life. She doesn't have to deal with him. He's paid off, and he can go have whatever life that he wants. Like fucking, I hope he chokes on that fucking goddamn money, man. But that's why my sister is in such a tight spot. But she's been in this scenario before, and with her new job and her quick promotion, simply because like this company was made by people that this company was put together by people who she worked with before at a different company. So these people know what my sister is worth, like how hard she works and her technical prowess and know-how of like all the machines and what to do. Like so they gave her like a pretty good top position, and she just got promoted recently with a decent raise, and now that money's gonna take some time just kind of getting to her, and for her to like start working these debts through. So first thing on the docket is to pay off what debt she owes to the bank, because she's like I said earlier, $400 in the hole, so more or less. But she's confident that she can pay it off with how good things are going for her. And once she does that, she's going to quit, like close that account and quit paying on those personal loans for now. The personal loans she took out to fucking pay off that fucking asshole friend, former friend, quote unquote friend. And she's going to focus on paying down her car title loan first. And then once she pays that down enough, like she's going to jump back on those personal loans and just get that done and over with. But yeah, that's why she was in debt. And from everything she's telling me, like she's got a decent plan in mind, and she's just got to put it forward and just start working on it. So it sounds pretty solid. Like once she starts getting paid like her promotion money, like she's gonna get caught up with her bank debt and then close that account, start a new account, and then focus on like pretty much one loan at a time until things get resolved. So at least that's one thing off the... Yes. And she says she doesn't need me to send any extra money. Like some of my other siblings have helped like pitch in to help her out. And she knows like the freaking like the dire straits that I'm always in. So she says she doesn't need any more money from me like at the moment. So I'm good. It's like whatever money I get from donos will be going toward my tires. And good news is that I have like $100. I'll have $100 tomorrow, like total, which will go toward my tires. I just need to rack up like $300 more to make that payment. So yeah, but that's $400 on top of everything that I'm trying to make and catch up with right now. But anyway, all that is cleared up, and it sucks that my sister has to like pay these personal loans to this fucking asshole who's been supposedly been her friend for like 14 years, and fucking like he throws a bitch fit because he was in love with my sister and just claims that she never gave him the chance. But she says that like she asked him several times if he wanted to like give them a shot. But the fucking bitch ass dude kept turning her down. It's like, well, fucking you got nobody to blame but yourself. Fucking dumbass. Asshole, man. When's the payment due? It's due. Well, I have to get at least 230 by the 15th. So that's in like a few days. That's next week. By Tuesday next week, I need to have at least 230 for the tires, and then pay another 200 and 230, pay another 100 and 180 to like stay on track with the payment plan that I set in order to pay it off early. Yeah, 180. So I gotta pay 230 by Tuesday next week, and then afterwards I gotta pay like another 180 in order to stay on track with the payment plan that I want to do in order to pay this thing off as soon as possible. But yeah. Anyway, for those who are watching, like if you want to help donate and like help me pay the tires off as soon as possible, donations can be made at the link below to my coffee page. Any dollar amount would be very much appreciated. So with all that said and all that figured out, let's get back to drawing. Excuse me. Yeah, I knew my sister and her friend, like this dude who's been her friend for like 14 years. I knew they had a falling out, but I didn't know it was that fucking bad. I didn't know like a whole bunch of money was involved. Fucking asshole, dude. She took advantage of me, blah blah blah. Like fucking, it's like you just fucking simping that hard for my sis, and she did give him a chance, like offered like to be in a relationship, but like fucking ass clown turned her down. And here he's like saying like he would never, like she would never give him a chance or whatever. Like fucking dude, that's your own fucking fault. Like she offered to give it a shot. Fucking weak. Anyway. So like my sister's like not taking on any friendships or anything. You know, she's very apprehensive about meeting people. It's just a case of like her being very generous and friendly and helping, and just like fucking people just taking advantage of her, especially like one of our cousins, like she had a baby, right? And this baby is like disabled, and my sister did everything she could to like help her out, like even like covering costs of this and that, only to find out that our cousin, like her man, like instead of helping out with some of these costs, it's like he's taking his extra money and like going out and fucking getting drunk. It's like, fucking dude, it's like, shit, you have like a disabled baby at home that you should be spending your time and money on. And my sister's like going out of her way to like just try to help a little. But like the guy, he sees like my sister giving them this money bump just to like help out. Like he takes that as like carte blanche to take his extra spending money and just like fucking blowing it on booze, and just fucking dipshit, dude. So when my sister found that out, she just stopped helping them, because like fucking she was helping because she loves like her like the nephew, like our cousin's baby, because like he's disabled, but he's like a happy little guy. But like though she's like helping out because she cares, like fucking the parents, they're not putting forth that effort to be like considerate for that help. Like instead of like helping cover the costs or like even paying my sister back, they're just going out and buying booze. And like, fucking fuck that, dude. So like my sister is done helping people out. And I'm over here like thinking like, oh, finally, because I've been jaded to like helping people out for years now. He's like fucking like fuck everyone else who is like taking advantage of like my kindness. Like I need to work on me right now. Cause like I've been in situations like that before where I've bent over backwards to help people out. Like putting all my needs aside, like my needs, my friends, my family's putting them all aside just to help other people out. And those other people just fucking taking a huge shit on you. So I haven't helped anybody out for like ages now. Only like my close immediate family, but that is fucking it. That is it. Like extended family, no. Like close acquaintances or friends, no. Because like I've just been like in the same spot my sister's been in, like just people taking advantage of your kindness, and I'm just done with that. And I'm glad my sister is done with that too. So like she's not giving handouts to people anymore, and I think she's gonna be all the better for it. What, Dasco? Damn it! I already explained everything. I thought you were already here. Like I told you I was gonna stream. I put the link in my server. Didn't I? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I already. Even your pal Dasco, like, nah. Like I'll help you out because you've helped me out. Like I think that's different because like I appreciate the people who've been helping me, and if they're ever in need and if I'm able to, I would love to help other people out. But as far as like extended relations or like new people in my life who, I don't know, like I'm gonna be a bit more apprehensive about it. So fuck. So that's the situation my sister was in, is just people taking advantage of her kindness, and like one of her like so-called friends just fucking her over royally. And well, for Dasco's sake, like long story short, like an old friend of hers fucked her over for like a whole bunch of money. So my sister, in a bid to just like get this guy completely out of her life, she went ahead and took out some personal loans to just pay this shithead back, just to have him leave her alone. Because like fucking, like when I met the guy, he was like pretty cool and like fairly decent and friendly and seemed like a true blue friend. But like fucking in recent years, he just fucking did a 180 and like fucking stabbed her in the back. Holy shit. Oh, how much money did I say? Yeah. Like $1,230 left on the tires. For right now, for this month, I need to come up with 230 by Tuesday. And then afterwards, I have to come up with 180 in order to stay on track with the in order to stay up with the payments that I set in order to pay this thing off as soon as possible. So yeah. But yeah, that's what's been going on. That's what's been happening with my sister. But she says she's got things under control. It's like she's got a good paying job with like great people who actually know what she's worth and how hard she works. So they gave her like a fairly high position to start with, and then recently they promoted her to like an even higher position. Just because she really knows her shit, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Money.
Thanks, love. Thank yous for the dono. What about the storage unit? The storage unit, I don't have to give her like another 130 for the storage unit. She says she's gonna get everything taken care of, so she doesn't need like another payment for me for this month. But before I can clear out the storage unit, I would like to pay off the tires, and I need to get new spark plugs and spark plug cables, because like though the vehicle runs, like I've noticed that it doesn't idle as smoothly, and my fuel economy is fucking lagging right now. And I know it's not as where it's up, where I know it's not up where it should be, where it's rated. Check the monies. Okay, let me check the donos. Just got to verify that I'm human. Am I human? I don't know. Oh shit! Love! Oh my god! Thank you, love. Like this'll cover a huge chunk of it. Yeah, fucking. All right, kick ass. Like this'll cover like fucking 2 months, and then all I need is like 400 after that. Shit, yeah, love you. You're too good to me. And Dasco just donated too. Fucking awesome. Oh man, you guys kick so much ass. I'm gonna be so indebted to Melody. Like I'm gonna be doing fucking commissions for her the next several months. All right, fucking hells yeah. Let's get her done. That's enough. Like fucking me talking about like recent happenings and drama. Like fucking thank you guys. Like you guys are fucking awesome. Yeah, that should cover 2 months worth of payments. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna need your help transferring the money because you have access to my Stripe account. Cause fucking, well, hold on, let me see. Like I just did an update. Okay, it's allowing me to log in. So let me see if like it'll actually boot up. Yes, no, maybe. Are you? Refresh. Fuck, let me see if Facebook will load. Well, Facebook's loading, so Stripe should load. That's usually how it works. Hey, Facebook is working. Come on. Come on, Stripe. Oh, man. I can breathe a little easier right now. Yeah, Stripe's not working. But we'll figure this out later. We'll figure it out later. But fucking thank you guys. Oh my god. Like Melody and Dasco, that completely covers like two of the 3 months of payments like right now. So once we get it transferred like tomorrow morning after they open up, I'm going to go ahead and drop that money on them, and then I'll only have like just like one payment left. Oh my god. We are fully on track right now. Oh yeah, Stripe is going to take a fraction. You what? Like maybe. Well, in order to like, I guess we'll just like let Stripe process it by itself instead of like doing the whole instant transfer. because the instant transfer does take like a percentage or like a certain, yeah, like a certain percentage of the transfer, especially when it's instant. So I guess we'll just like let Stripe run its course and deposit it on its own due time. But fucking hells yeah. Hells yeah, you guys. Man, I wish I had some alcohol right now to like toast you two. Fucking kick ass, both of you. Jeez. Okay. Okay. Oh man. All right, all right, all right. I'm still in a bit of disbelief. Like I can't. Love, you're gonna spoil me. You and Dasco. Jeez. I just gotta become successful so I can repay all this kindness. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. What's left? Oh, what's left would be, um, I think another $410. That would be the last payment, but we can worry about that when we get there. Oh, jeez. Thank you guys. Thank you. And here I was like thinking like, am I gonna fucking make the deadline for this month's payment? But yeah, sure enough, I can do it now. Thank you, both of you. Okay. Now, now I got the problem where I'm like too excited to like to think straight. But yeah, I can do this. Oh yeah, Melody gave me some latex or yeah, latex ref. And he's right here. It is good latex ref. Just do a simple pass like this for now. $405. I think 400 and well, yeah, we'll call it 405, or just like an even 400 because I still do have money in the bank. So yeah. And now you have a comfortable 3-month gap to slowly raise up some capital. Yes. Oh, fucking hell yeah. This day started out good, then it got bad, and then it got good again. Ugh. Thank you guys. Fucking thank you. Oh, fucking shout outs to both of you for the rest of the fucking week or the months. School is wrapping up soon. Roller coaster of a roller coaster of a day. Jeez. Yeah, I was feeling good, and then my sister like texted me those money woes, and I'm thinking like, what the fuck? What's going on with my sister? Does she owe fucking money to the mob or something? But she cleared that up, and it's still. Well, I'm glad she's in a better place mentally, but like it sucks that fucking a supposed good friend like that just fucking fucks her over. Royal, the royal fuck over, royal fuck job. Okay, so like doing the math. Um, Let me get my calculator out. 400 divided by 12. 3 months means you have to raise about $33 a week. Yeah, more or less. Oh yeah, let me double check my math. 110 minus 410 minus 825 equals. Oh, is that right? Let me check my. See what I paid already. Well, of course, there's going to be like, I guess, processing fees. See, it was October 15th. What the hell? Where'd it go? Oh, 230. Oh, I guess gotta. Sorry, I'm taking so long. I should be drawing right now. Figure this out later, but I'm just kind of excited to figure this out now. Okay. So 16, 10 minus 230 minus 175 equals 1205 minus 825. Okay. All right. Oh, all right. That's why. My first payment wasn't 410, it was 405. Okay. But no, we're still on track. But yeah. Yeah, this is good. This is good. This is fucking awesome. Again, thank the both of you. Yeah, everything's okay. I was just off by $5 on my end when calculating stuff. Oh man. And don't worry, no one's gonna know that I have this money until I throw it all on the tires. No one's even gonna be aware. Because I know that's one of your concerns too, love. As far as everyone knows, yes, I'm broke. Because technically I am. Because once, like, even though, like, this money is coming to me, this money is already owed to something else. So, in all actuality, yeah, I still am broke. That's how I have to think about it. If I think otherwise, like, I'd probably be tempted to, like, go, I don't know, buy video games or fucking junk food or booze, but no. Like like I have to think like this money isn't even mine because it's already earmarked for something else. So yeah, technically I am broke. Like even if they knew I had that money coming to me is like shoot like fucking yeah that money isn't even mine. That's going to my tires. That's not my money. That's tire money. Buy a 24 pack of Rockstar. No, no. Like I've had to chill out on Rockstar for a little bit because I have been drinking way too much caffeine. There are days where I'll drink nothing but coffee and energy drinks, and then at the end of the day, I'm wondering like, why the fuck am I so jittery? Why am I on edge? Like fucking dipshit, you haven't had any actual fucking straight up water for the last couple of days. So yeah, like I took like a took down a big chunk of water today just to try to keep level, try to keep even. I'll just be glad when they're paid for so we don't have to hear about the fucking things again. Right? Thank you, love. You see what I mean when I tell you you're the best thing that's ever happened to me? Uh, like without you, I don't think I'd really like manage anything at all. And thanks to you too, Dasco. Like your help with All the things you do is very much appreciated. Like the donations you make, some of the technical advice you give me. Oh, fucking hells yeah, man. You guys are fucking rad ass. Rad ass, man. Just wish you took my Patreon advice the first time we met. No, JV, don't post that. Oh. Well, how the fuck was I supposed to know that they would fucking switch up the wording of like my fucking restrictions? It's like they kept changing it and like fucking hemming me in more and more. It's like, dude, you fucking assholes. Jeebus fucking Christ. That's why some of them gotta die. Yeah. Yeah. It's like he's not fucking up, so we can't throw him back in. So let's change the wording of the release agreement so it looks like he's fucking up. And then we can get him. Fucking crooked, cheap, corrupt sons of bitches. They're gonna be first on my chopping block once I take over. Fucking change the laws. Start executing motherfuckers. No, fucking, I'm gonna save them for last. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll handle all the other corrupt motherfuckers first. Have them all executed, and then these dipshits who fucking fucked me over are gonna be like the fucking cherry on top of that cake. They're the ones who are gonna like fucking watch everything go down, and they're gonna know they were the key factor in pushing me this far. And then once it finally happens, fucking I want videotapes, man. I want video recordings. because I'm gonna fucking enjoy that and watch it over and over and over again. Yes. That's why I always refer to them Pricktreon. Oh yeah, and like how fucking Patreon fucking booted me. Yeah, fucking like fuck Patreon and fuck PayPal too. Jeez. Dipshit censorious motherfuckers. Just kill them with success. No. Fucking no. Well, there's nothing I can do about the citizens, but the people who work in government and the policing authorities who do the government's bidding, those are the people I want to round up and have fucking like executed. You know, like after I change the laws and like clarify and more or less like revitalize like the whole like Bill of Rights and Constitution type thing, and just elaborate how the legal system is set up to impose like a whole bunch of like these extraneous laws that just shouldn't be laws in the first place, because they're criminalizing like simple behavior that is perceived to be abhorrent, instead of just solely criminalizing illegal actions, such as like tangible or actual offenses, such as like acts of like violence, theft, what other things? I guess extortions, things like that, but like they're trying to overstep those boundaries and like criminalize like just behaviors, be them like either drug addiction or like things to that are perceived to be as like sexual, like fucking urinating in public is like sometimes fucking you gotta fucking go. I guess it's that, or just fucking piss and shit in your pants, but then that's wouldn't that become like a health risk at that point? Yeah, just violating. Yeah, like you got to have like the freedom and liberty to do like almost anything, just as long as you don't violate the freedoms and liberties of like other people. So yeah, like who cares like if you fucking do drugs or whatever, just as long as you're not like harming people. Like if you want to destroy your own body, that's your own fucking business. And there's just a whole bunch of things that are just like way out of line. So when I take over things, change the laws, and like start rounding up the people that are responsible for all these like overbearing laws, just like fucking round them up and execute them. You know, that's fucking civil. Let's fucking do it. And I want televised executions, pay-per-view. Get all these like corrupt officials, government cheats, liars, extortionists. Just fucking wipe them all out. And charge tickets. Yeah, like I think like less government in the matter of like governing people, and we need more government like governing the government. It's like we have more watchdog programs watching like actual citizens instead of the people who are in charge of like these laws and positions of power. So it's like why are we watching all these citizens when the people that we should be watching are the senators and like the Supreme Court and congressmen and women and just like fucking everyone working in government. Those are the people that should be getting surveyed, because those are the ones like fucking taking money on under the table, bribes, fucking like even like committing the lewd sexual acts that they like make laws against. And it's just fucking we have watchdogs on the wrong side of the fence. The worst things are useless think tanks that do nothing but still sponge off the text. Yeah, that's right. Like fucking we have government authorities and officials who do little to nothing for the American people. It's like they pretend like they make these big decisions, but all in all, it's like the decisions they do make just hem in the freedom and liberties of the citizens that they're supposed to be protecting. And all the while, they just fucking give themselves raises for just sitting behind a desk and pretending to make big decisions. It's like, why are you giving yourself all this money when you don't do shit? Those are the people that need to be rounded up and fucking gotten rid of. Like, vote for Johnston Blackhorse if you want a cleansing of government. If you want full transparency. Because the only way we'll get full transparency is if we like get the NSA to stop just monitoring average citizens and start monitoring government authorities. That's it. Like fucking, that's how you stop corruption. That's how you stop like the fucking big money schemes, like money trade-offs from like corporations to government authorities, and those government authorities in turn like turned a blind eye to like making laws that police like corporations. And it's just like this fucking like it's obvious what's happening, but like fucking they put like the spotlight on the American people and like just try to dissuade people from like looking at what the real problem is, and they distract them with all these other like fucking nitpicky like situations and shit. Yeah, good dental, healthcare. Yeah, turned a blind eye to what happens in. Yeah. Man. Yeah, my teeth wouldn't be as fucked up as they are now if the prison system had better like dental like dental care. And there are like fucking guys that I watched like fucking they look like they were fucking deteriorating from the inside out. Like it looked like this guy had like some sort of like bacteria. It's like his fucking skin started like getting like all these like fucking sores and blisters, and like fucking he smelled like he was rotting, and they didn't do shit. I don't know if that guy survived, because shortly after I helped him like kind of get word out to like somebody he knew, I was shipped out. But that guy who that inmate wanted me to contact, like he didn't even know his friend was in prison. And it was like this fucked up situation where he was in prison as a sex offender, but he never touched anybody. Like the story is that like yeah, he was high. He was like smoking weed or whatever, and he's going to a store to like get some, like purchase something, and like he starts getting hassled by this cop. And I think he was in a situation, like he was in a place where like fucking weed was being legalized and whatever, so he was free to like smoke whatever. So like the cops started to try to hassle him, and since he wasn't doing anything wrong, the cop like tried to manhandle him, and this guy like fucking he was like a former martial artist, so like he fucking flipped the dude. He flipped the cop, and the cop was so butthurt about it that he filed like a sexual assault charges on the guy, and he was in there as a sex offender when like fucking he didn't do shit, and I guess he like was bucking the system. So the system put him in what I call as transport purgatory. So they transport you from prison to prison until like you're willing to take like some sort of plea deal, which they did to another guy. They put him in transport purgatory for like a sex offense, but he didn't sexually assault anybody. But that's what they were going with. But since like they didn't have anything on him, and like he had like he collected a whole bunch of legal documents to utilize against the system like once he got out. But since they couldn't fucking charge him with anything, and they kept him in there for like fucking years without actually going to trial, they just fucking let him go. But when he asked for his documents back, like the whole stack of documents he had stored up in prison, they only gave him like small like fucking folder. And like all those documents, he said like there was just like all these trumped up charges and whatever that they were trying to utilize, and he was going to try to take him to court, but no, like fucking they just gave him back like a small folder, and it just fucking sucks. uh yeah, leprosy, the pick on the phone. I heard this one, his nephew, right? Oh yeah, yeah, like the whole nephew thing, like that was a different guy. Like the guy who fucking like he sexually assaulted his nephew. Like yeah, he did sexually assault his nephew. So there's no sympathy for that dude. But he did pay me quite a bit in prison for like drawing like a lot of lewds. So like though I don't sympathize with him, like he did like fucking like pay me in like commissary for some of the stuff I drew for him. But like yeah, there are people in prison that didn't need to be there. And the reason that they're there is that they finally decided to take a plea deal because either they were lied to and said like, hey, look, if you just confess, we'll let you go. And fucking they just get fed up with the whole situation they're in. So they just go ahead and like confess to whatever charges that they want to press. And then well, that's all they use. Like they could have like little to no evidence. And as long as you stick to your guns, they'll just in several years they might let you go. Like say the case with the guy I was just talking about, they kept him in transport purgatory for I don't know how many years before they let him go. And in some cases like fucking I don't know, it's just fucking depressing. Yeah, like they often like they'll rail on you like in interrogations to just get a false confession. Like this other guy I knew, it's like they put him in for like sexually assaulting his daughter, which he never did. And they kept him in the system for like X amount of like I don't know how long, but he should have been let go because her story it kept changing. Like the reason like she accused him of like sexual assault is because like she was an estranged daughter. Like she was like a daughter that he didn't know he had up until like she was like already like a young child. And like the biological mother was just fucking like a hell in a handbasket, like she was a handful. So she couldn't take care of the kid anymore when she became like a teenager. So like through the legal system, like they found like he was the biological father, so they passed her off to him. So like as the biological father, he just kind of like, okay, I guess this is my responsibility. So he did what he could to be like a father to her, but since she grew up in such a like a negative environment where the mother was just like whoring and boozing around all the time, like she was just left to do whatever she wanted until like fucking her mother got caught up in the legal system for like all her drugs, booze, and fucking around. So that's the environment she grew in up in. But now she living with her fathers, like she starts getting imposed with all these rules, and she didn't like it. And to get back at him, like she accused him of sexual assault. So they arrest him, and during the time he's being like detained, they're interrogating him like fucking like the worst thing they did to him is like they labeled him as a suicide risk even though he never showed any signs of suicide. And what they do is that they strip you naked and they put you in what they call a turtle suit, which is just this like padded vest, and he's like got his hands cuffed behind his back with this padded vest on, like completely naked otherwise, and they have him in this somewhat like a padded cell, and that's supposed to like make you not commit suicide. Like their only goal is to just like prevent you from committing suicide. They don't care about your mental state. Like when you're considered a suicide risk, they put you in this room and in that getup, and if anything, it just makes you want to, like, if you were a suicide risk, it just makes you want to commit suicide even more, because like fucking being locked up in that environment, like it just drove him up the wall. And so after spending I don't know how long in that get up and just with the interrogations, they told him like, look, if you just confess, you can go home tonight. So he confessed like to whatever, like even though like the fucking girl's story kept changing, like he went ahead and like said like, yeah, okay, I did it, just let me go home. So they let him go home, and then like shortly thereafter they arrested him again, and like he was off to prison like shortly after that. And what sucks is that there's no warrant for his arrest. No warrant like exists for his file. And it just fucking sucks. Yeah, confession under duress. Like it's just fucking bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. So all the people responsible for all the heinous, inhumane treatment and acts and false confessions and all this bullshit, all those people need to be rounded up and fucking executed. Executed. Because we gotta like set a standard in this country. Because like fucking we have the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and people are just walking all over it. Like they're not, they should be treated to like a higher like standard. They should be held sacred in this country, but they're not. Instead, people are just like fucking arguing over like stupid petty shit as to like what people should be doing with their bodies, like fucking like controlling women's reproductive rights and everything. And it's just like fucking like you guys are looking at the wrong fucking thing. But that's how the politicians and everybody wants it. They keep bringing up these issues so you'll be like confused and focused on those issues instead of like looking at what the fuck they're doing, all the corrupt shit that they're responsible for. And that's how that whole dog and pony show plays out. It's like instead of like talking about full transparency, the corruption of government, corporate greed, and the capitalization on human lives, be it through your freedoms, your health, like the dying, the sick, and like just fucking like how everything is just so piss poor and built to the in a way that corporations are allowed to just like fucking capitalize on people while paying politicians to avoid making laws to cap what they're doing. And the politicians doing this whole dog and pony show is like, oh, like fucking gay marriage or abortion, like those are hot button issues that people should be like fucking arguing over instead of like looking at what corruption that we're fucking responsible for. No, it's like fucking get me in power and all that fucking shit ends, right? Because just fucking tell it how it is. Like, look, all these corporations are giving like hefty amounts of money to these government officials so they can keep the people confused about all this petty shit and all this petty arguing, just so they can keep stealing money out of your pockets, money out of like your loved ones, and money out of like the fucking hordes and hordes of dead bodies at everybody's feet. I mean, like fucking Constitution and Bill of Rights should be held sacred in this country, but they're not. Get me in there and there'll be like a rebirth or a resurgence of all that, just to like focus on what is truly at stake. Like liberty, freedom, and justice for all. And I mean true justice, like the people who are responsible for keeping the public blind and cheating them out of their money and out of their very health and fucking very lives need to be held accountable. And to show that like we take the Bill of Rights and fucking Constitution seriously, these tyrants need to be exposed for what they are and treated as the tyrants they are. And the way we deal with tyrants is that you fucking take their blood, the blood of tyrants, and water the tree of liberty with it. The tree of liberty is like fucking watered with the blood of tyrants, but we have to first expose the tyrants in our very midst that are just fucking controlling us. And fucking lop off their heads. All of them. Fucking all of them. Yeah, it might be a lot. But like, you know, like people who believe in truth, justice, liberty, and all that good stuff. The core ideals of America, of like what this country was supposed to be. People who believe in that full-heartedly will step up and take the positions of those who were executed, and take those positions with full heart and knowledge that they will do a good job, because they're not gonna fucking fuck up like the last guy, because the last guy fucking lost his fucking head. And yeah, people might see me as like a friggin' like claim that I'm being like fascist or whatever for like being so strict and hard on government, but like I just want to police the governing authorities in that manner. Like fucking the citizens can like take their freedom and liberty and just be happy. Fucking just live well, dude. Just let me handle all this shit and everything will be okay. I swear it. And then mince their bodies up and turn it into fertilizer. A lifetime of being a shithead, they may as well end their lives as shit. It's time big government was held. Yes, it is time that big government was held accountable. And I am the fucking man to do it. Just vote for Johnston Blackhorse and I'll get shit done. Because I don't kiss ass. I kick it. And I'm going to kick it into the fucking ground. Like having Bush tried as a war criminal. Like, yeah, like fucking expose all the war criminals for what they fucking are. And fucking execute them. You forgot the influence of Congress. Oh no, I'm gonna deal with Congress. It's just a matter of like digging up all the dirt that all of them are responsible for, and then putting it on display. And once that's done, either it works itself out, or once enough dirt is dug up, I'll handle it. Yeah, like I know that. I know that, but I think as long as like you expose all the corruption Congress is responsible for, they won't be a bother. Because let's face it, there's a lot of shitty people in Congress, and once their dirty laundry is aired out, like it'll all work out. Once they're exposed, nowhere to hide. It'll all be okay. Oh, don't worry about Congress. I'll have it all under control once I get in there. Ugh. Don't you worry about blank. Let me worry about blank. Oh fuck! I need some more. I need some more Dr. Pepper. Okay, 80s guy. Yeah, I'm gonna shift all the paradigms. But once I'm president, how fast do you think it would be before people start accusing me of being like a reptilian or something? At the moment, go, huh? Oh, well, it's not going to matter. Human or not, failed government experiment or not, I'm still a true, natural born American citizen. And that's all that matters. Now, gee, man, your lie detector test came out wonky. uh, now, allegedly, it might be a failed government experiment. Allegedly. But why the fuck were they sending Navajos into uranium mines without protection? Like, knowingly sending them in without proper protection if they didn't want to document, like, fucking what happened? I think they did that on purpose just to see, like, the outcome. Like maybe like a possible like radioactive Superman would emerge from like these haphazard experiments. Like, I mean, come on. It's like Native Americans were given chemical suits to go in a radioactive environment. And you tell them, like, oh, yeah, the chemical suits will protect you from the radiation. Like, fucking bullshit, man. You just want to send people in there in droves just to see what happened, see what the effects were. Fucking assholes. Yeah. Or that. They just wanted to get rid of us and take our land, right? Yeah, like fucking get me in charge and let me fucking round up those assholes who were in charge of that fucking bullshit. It's like those effects stem for generations. Like even my sisters are affected. I'm pretty sure I might be because like this, it seems to like deteriorate or underdevelop the joints. And my sister, like my little sister, who's like 10 years younger than I am, has already had to have like knee surgery. And my other sister who's like living in Phoenix, like she's had like some joint issues herself. Like carbon monoxide, radiation is a silent killer. You only need to see the Chernobyl birth effects after the meltdown. Yeah. So like yeah, my mom was born um with no like little to no pain receptors in her legs. I guess like her bones might be brittle, and like in her age, only like she's only in her 50s, and her joints are just like fucking deteriorating, and like the fucking U.S. government was responsible for that, for sending Navajos into uranium mines completely unprotected, and they fucking knew this. Jessica says you need new blood in the family. No, like, well, that'll be on somebody else because I am not having any kids. After like spending my whole childhood raising children, like, fuck if I want to spend my adult years doing more of that. No, thank you. Oh yeah, and the Tuskegee experiment with the syphilis. Yeah, like fucking yeah. I think it's the same fucking thing. Like with the Tuskegee Airmen, when they like purposefully infected them with syphilis, the government purposefully infected Navajos and other Native Americans with radiation just to see what would happen. That's I'm willing to fucking bet on that. Fucking dipshit motherfuckers. So definitely the government needs to be reined in because like the government's spending a lot on monitoring its citizens and keeping its citizens in check. But it really should be the other way around. Fucking bet. So yeah, vote for Johnston Blackhorse if you want to see heads roll. uh, And isn't it also either fact or grapevine that big government literally introduced drugs into the black community as a way of artificially oppressing them? Yeah. Like there have been like a few documentaries and even fucking movies made about stuff like that. And drumming up new laws to make things they introduced as pretty much like way back in the day, like the first drug laws were only meant to police like slaves, like back when like cocaine was coming into like America, like people like some of the slaves to unwind, they would like chew and like suck on like these cocaine or coca leaves or cocaine leaves or whatever. But the white people like got really uncomfortable with this and started to think that, oh well, if they do too much cocaine they might rebel against their slave owners and whatnot, so we better make laws against like cocaine for slaves. But then later on that like snowballed into like, oh well, it should be for all people now. And I don't know, it's just like a law based on fear. It's like, oh well, we're afraid something might happen, so in order to prevent it, let's fucking let's fucking make laws against it so it never happens. But in doing so, like fucking, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. By making cocaine illegal and like by in an extension like marijuana illegal, now you get all these people who are familiar with cocaine and marijuana, and you make them desperate and like do desperate things in order to chase that high. When way back in the day, like fucking, if someone wanted to chew on like some cocaine leaves and get a little buzz off that, they were free to do it. But when you make it illegal, like fucking people who still want to get that high will still want to get to chase that high. And when you make it even more illegal and you punish them for it, like people will still like fucking go to like extreme measures in order to just have that again. So you make desperate people do desperate things for trying to fulfill like a simple habit. So by criminalizing a habit, you just exasperate like the fears in which you created those laws for in the first place. And you turn into a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, you were afraid people would like do violent things if they were on cocaine, but now since you made it illegal, they're willing to do violent things in order to obtain cocaine. So you really like brought the violence to fruition by making it legal in the first place. The violence that you were trying to prevent. I mean, it's just fucking stupid. Yeah, it wasn't like they were eating the whole bush. It's like, yeah, like fucking after a long day's work, like people wanted to mellow out, they just fucking chew on a few cocaine leaves and just chill. I think places like La Paz sell coca leaves legally as ways to fight off altitude sickness. Yeah, like make me president and I'll just fucking make all naturally grown substances legal. Like legalize it. Like how are you going to criminalize nature? It's in nature's nature to produce these plants, and like though like some of them may have like mind altering effects, it's like long as people don't fucking do something stupid while they're on them, like I guess that's fine. The only reason like people do stupid things for these like fucking mind altering substances is because you've just criminalized the hell out of it. So people are willing to do violent things and break the law in order to chase that high. But if it were just like legalized and you let these plants just exist, people wouldn't be just so out for blood for it. Like, take the whole like prohibition type thing, for example. In trying to criminalize and like make it illegal to have alcohol, drink alcohol, be drunk, and all that stuff, like you created like this like a criminal empire. Like you fucking started the mob. Whereas people just fucking wanted to get drunk, you know. But when you make things illegal, like people will go to extreme illegal means just to fucking take a break from reality, man. Or just to fucking chill out, dude. Yeah, make me president and I'll legalize it. All natural forms of naturally grown substances. Maybe then there wouldn't be such like a fucking, was it pill epidemic. I can't remember. Yeah, make it legal and tax it. Yeah, that's it. Daska says skinwalkers. The government is skinwalkers. No, not you too, Dasco. Don't you freaking start a freaking cheesy ass skinwalker fanfic. Yeah, opioid epidemic. Like if like these substances were just legal, these natural substances were just like all made legal, like there wouldn't be such an opioid epidemic, because people are still trying to chase like a certain high or a certain altered mind state. But when you make these natural substances illegal, they go to other like legal means, such as like pills, just to try to alter that state of mind in order to, I don't know, find some relief from the shit reality we find ourselves in. So, like, if these natural substances were made legalized and just easily accessible, you just fucking legalize it and tax it, people wouldn't be so desperate to do like fucking heinous things to like get this mind alteration, or they wouldn't be abusing these really harmful opioids. They would just fucking chew on a freaking plant or smoke some weed and fucking relax. Chillax, man. It's there. Fucking eat it or smoke it. I don't care. Make a tea out of it. Your deal, man. Just fucking do it. So like there'd be less violence, there'd be less opioid abuse. You just have more people just fucking chilling out. But I'd only be legalizing like natural substances. Like as for things like let's see, like fucking meth, I wouldn't legalize it. I'd just like decriminalize it. Because I think like meth is like another one of those options that people gravitated toward when they couldn't get their cocaine or their fucking weed. And it just kind of fucking blew out of control. So like chemical drugs of that nature, like I would still like keep illegal, but like decriminalize it. Because like if you're getting high on meth, like you don't need to be like thrown in like a very like negative environment. Like maybe just given like a fine of some sort and like some sort of treatment, because sending people to fucking prison just because they're in the habit of getting high doesn't fix the issue, just exacerbates it. Just make sure you don't allow shit like crocodile. What is that? Is that a new street drug? Is that what all the kids are doing nowadays? Crocodile? Totally wicked, awesome Alabama white snake. I think that's what it was. That was that freaking crazy ass drug from Metalocalypse. Google image it? Okay. Crocodile images. Whoa, holy fucking shit. What the fuck is going on? What is... Oh my god. Yeah, I'm like seeing these people, like, their skin is fucking rotting. Why the fuck would you do a drug that possibly makes your skin rot like that? Oh my god. This guy's forearm is just straight rotting away, and you can fucking see his bones. The fuck is this shit? See, this is what I mean. Like, when you make natural substances illegal, people will like seek other avenues that aren't illegal yet, and usually those other avenues are just fucking chemical drugs that they either take via pill form or fucking shoot up, and they're just wanting to chase that high, that like a mind altered state, and they'll like do any drug that they can that isn't like fucking on the books yet. And fucking some of this shit is just fucking dangerous. Jesus fucking Christ. This stuff straight up turns you into a fucking zombie. Like, no, you don't like fucking, you're not undead, and I doubt you want to eat flesh, but like fucking it rots your fucking body. Holy hell. It's like extremely cheap, badly made meth. Fucking shit, dude. Yeah. See, this is what people will do if they don't have like natural substances that they can take. I mean, there are natural substances like clean drugs that you can ingest or smoke that don't have these fucking effects to them. Oh my god, this guy's fucking arm, it's like a whole slab of flesh just rotted off. This is not cool. Oh fuck. But this is how desperate people are. This is how desperate they get. Like, yeah, life is hard. They want to alter their state of mind, but you can't do, like, you can't suck on a cocaine leaf because cocaine is illegal. You can't fucking smoke weed because weed is illegal. Can't fucking do mushrooms because mushrooms are illegal. So people will like seek out avenues of like fucking cooking up chemicals and shooting them up just to feel just to take the feeling away or just change their state of mind, and like fucking for what? Like it's just rotting people away inside out. Jesus fucking Christ. Dude, like this guy is just like one big fucking scab. Ugh. Oh fuck. Yeah. So vote for Johnston Blackhorse. I'll legalize and decriminalize all of it. You want to get high? Fucking go ahead, get high. Just don't do anything fucking stupid, and you'll be good. Oh man. I didn't know I needed to know that fucking existed. Now that I know, is like fucking yeah, we gotta fucking legalize some natural substances like fucking right quick. Like almost like fucking across the board, man. We gotta stop the manufacture of some of these freaking chemical drugs, because it's just too gnarly. Like oh no, you don't want people smoking weed or fucking sucking or chewing on cocaine leaves. Like I guess this is the alternative. Like fucking people are willing to turn themselves into fucking zombies. The Walking Dead. Just legalize natural substances and tax them, man. Is it that difficult? Sorry, like I was supposed to have been like drawing this whole time, but I go off on like some like long political rant, and fucking what I promised to do when I become president. And what I promised to do is fucking kick a lot of ass, so you can smoke a lot of grass. I kick ass so you can smoke grass. That's my promise to you as President of the United States. So vote Johnston Blackhorse 2024. Is that a good slogan? Just like testing the waters. I kick ass so you can smoke grass. Oh shit. Oh fuck. That's right. I'm out of Dr. Pepper. Hmm. Yeah, kick ass so you can smoke grass, so none of you have to fucking do that crocodile shit. Jeez, man. I had someone like offer me like what was that? Spice? that synthetic drug. And I already heard all the horror stories, you know, because like fucking a lot of spice came from China and they just like mix random chemicals together. It's like whatever spice you get from so or which dealer or from whatever time to time, it's never the same. It's like a random assortment of chemicals that they just mix together, and it's never the same concoction. So like one hit of spice that might get you off, but then the next hit of spice you don't know if it's gonna fucking burn a hole in your lung or not, or just fucking alter your brain permanently. I mean, it's just fucking stupid. And I've heard enough of those horror stories, and this guy who offered me spice is like, yeah, man, I got that good shit. I got spice. You want to try some? I was like, fuck no. Not just no, but fuck no. Fucking, you can do it if you want. So I'm not going to fucking stop you, but keep that shit away from me. What the hell is bath salts, by the way? I've never looked into it. I think it's literally bath salts, but I think it's like a certain kind of drug. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I've never I've never bothered to look it up. I remember somebody told me once. Somebody told me once, and I was like, "Oh, that's what bath salts are." But I forgot. Melody's sending me, oops. Melody's sending a video. Oh, sorry, I gotta turn it up. I guess I gotta put on my headphones. Oh. There we go. It's like people are probably wondering, what the fuck am I looking at? Flying man bear pig hallucinogen. How long have I been streaming? Almost 2 hours now. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not as far along as I thought it would be. I didn't expect to go off on like some like long-winded political rant. Oh man. But yeah, I wanted to get this done today. I'm wondering, should I make this latex too? I guess I should. I was like kind of like drawing it as if it was like more like a cloth texture, but I think it should be latex as well. That's my fault. I mentioned the past. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, the past is one of my triggers. Don't mention the past or I'm gonna fucking go off on one long political rant. Ugh. Fucking hell. It's... Oh, hey, he's a little spider. Hey, little guy. I had like maybe like a couple of spiders in here like over the summer, but I think I inadvertently killed them because um I used fly spray on several of the flies, and then afterwards I didn't see these spiders anymore, and I felt bad. And like, oh man, I must have killed the spiders when they probably ate those poisoned flies. Oh, that sucks. But yeah, there's another spider here, so that's cool. I should have known because I saw some like I finally saw some new spider webs around. Like, oh sweet, there's still one alive, and he's right over here. Cool. Deska says, turn him inside out. No, he's my little spider friend. Spider guy, spider guy. Average, everyday spider guy. Can hear the spider knitting in the corner. Man, I saw a guy fishing, and oh man, when he caught a fish, he ripped the heads off, like cracking open a cold one. Oh, crazy! Got to make it thicker. Gonna get you a monkey, boy. Gonna get me a monkey. Monkey? Oh, scary stories? Okay. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, wait. I thought this was. Oh, wait. There are some stories here. Okay. Let's listen to this one.
So, I rolled
Whoa, whoa, sorry.
into the wilderness and report back.
I got this up way too loud.
So, I rolled in the quest thread and my
There we
result
go.
was that I had to go out into the wilderness and report back with a cryptozoological story. Thing is, I already have one to share. So here it is, after this post. Even if you don't believe me, I sincerely hope that this story entertains you, at the very least. Episode 1, The Noise. All of these stories take place in the same general area. The first incident I can clearly remember happened when I was 4 or 5. After speaking to others in the area, I learned that the events I experienced were far from the only things to have ever happened in that area, but I digress. I'll get to the experiences others told me after I've relayed my own, if there is sufficient demand. It was a typical summer night and I was settling down to watch Snick. Kudos to those of you who know what I'm talking about. My dad was doing some work outside, and my mom was in the kitchen cleaning up from the dinner we'd all just finished eating, when my dad came in pale as a sheet. My mom asked him what was wrong and he replied, "I heard something outside. Get me my gun." My mother, of course, complied. With the gun securely in hand, my dad went back outside and my mother, my brother, and I watched him from the doorway. Then we heard it, too. It sounded like a woman screaming or something. I know that a lot of animals sound that way, but I've lived in the country my whole life and never heard that sound before. The closest I've come is some videos of big cats, but that raises the question of what a big cat would be doing in the middle of Indiana. My dad paused for a second when he heard it again, but not wanting to look like a pussy in front of his wife and kids, he proceeded to the section of the field next to our house where the sound seemed to be originating from, his pistol held ready. Now, it's important to note that when this happened there was no house in the field next to ours. A house was built there later, but it was pure country darkness at that time. My dad vanished into the gloom where the sound seemed to be originating from, and for a few breathless seconds we heard nothing. Then my dad screamed, "Oh fuck," and we heard the sound of gunfire. At this point my mom shoved my brother and I into the house and closed the door on us. I heard my dad yell, "Are the kids in the house?" The panic in his voice was evident. Once my mom assured him that we were safe, they both came back inside, drew the blinds, locked the doors, and refused to speak about it. Later that night I was eavesdropping on my parents through the vent in my room and heard my dad say to my mom, "I don't know what that was, but I never want to see it again. If the kids ask, tell them it was just someone playing a trick on us." I never asked when I was younger, but once I got older I've asked him about it on a few occasions. He always refuses to talk about it. After that night, he began drinking heavily. He's thankfully given it up now. Episode 2, The Build-Up. Some strange things happened after that, though nothing as major as that noise was. But, in retrospect, they all seemed to be building up into some sort of crescendo. My mother walked into the kitchen one night and saw an Indian, feather, lady standing at our back window, crying. She was alone in the house with us at that time. I did some research and apparently the land we lived on was used as a trading ground of some sort before the settlers came. I don't know any more than that. One winter, my mother saw someone looking at her through our bathroom window. It's important to note that our bathroom window was a good 9 feet off of the ground. She got my dad to look outside. Despite the heavy snowfall there were no footprints leading away from, or to, the house. But there were a set of footprints in a circle right outside of the bathroom window, again, with no footprints leading to or away from them. During this time my dad's drinking was increasing exponentially. This seems to be common in those who had experienced things in those woods, as it happened to a friend's father as well. I'll tell those stories after I share my own, again, provided there is sufficient interest. We would often hear heavy metal coming from inside of the walls. This happened up until we moved out 15 years later. No one who lived near us listened to heavy metal. My brother, 2 years my junior, began talking about how he would see our dead great-grandpa in our house all the time. I wouldn't give any credence to this, due to his age. Except for the fact that he apparently described the suit my great-grandpa was buried in detail. He wasn't at the wake or the funeral. My father's drinking culminated in abuse to my mother and they got divorced when I was 10 or 11. That's the last you'll hear of my family problems. Though I do feel what I've shared is relevant to the story.
Weak. Oh, I saw something so scary and spooky that it's driving me to drink and beat my wife. Oh, shit. Yeah, I've seen some spooky and freaky stuff myself. But it hasn't, like, shattered my, like, fucking perception of how I, like, see the world, and hasn't made me, like, drove me to, like, fucking, like, drink myself stupid and beat on women. Jeez. Like, what the fuck did you see? Like, it couldn't have been, like, fucking that bad. Man, because I've seen some spooky stuff, but yeah, it didn't fucking break me that much. Oh my god. This guy's perception of, like, fucking what is and isn't, like, what must have been turned upside down. I wonder if he was, like, fucking, like, overtly religious and, like, seeing, like, a spooky entity like this questioned his old, like, perception on his belief structure and just, like, fucking threw his faith to the wind. Oh. And started wearing a trucker hat. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, fucking weak, dude. Your dad was weak. Oh shit. Yeah, we see creepy stuff, like, out here, like, constantly. Like, it died down during the pandemic, strangely enough. So I think, like, fucking a lot of the, like, skinwalkers, like, our slang for them out here is yannies. Like, it's like shorthand for yanagloshi. Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said the actual word for it. Damn. Ah, fuck. Anyway, like, it happens so much out here that sometimes, like, my dad and brother have to come out at night and just, like, pop a few rounds off with the fucking hunting rifle just to scare them off. But yeah, during the pandemic, it was, like, fucking just quiet all the time. Just, like, fucking nothing. So I think a bunch of the, like, the Yannies, like the Yanni people that fucking witch around in animal skins, like, I think a lot of them, like, maybe several of them either got sick or just fucking got offed by the pandemic. The trucker hat made me do it. Did he see Gary Busey's teeth? Oh shoot. Gary Busey's teeth on a shadow entity? Pfft, that might do it. Oh fucking hell. But yeah, seen some creepy shit, but, like, fucking, like, it couldn't have been that bad. Jeez. Anyway, let's get on with the story.
My father was the nicest guy in the world before that night. I have to wonder what it was he saw that brought him to that point. Episode 3, The Dog. After the divorce, my mother bought my brother a dog. It was the sweetest dog in the world. We kept him chained up outside. Every now and then he would break loose, but he would never be gone for more than an hour or two. One day he broke free and didn't come back. My brother was, understandably, heartbroken. My mother promised him a new dog if that one didn't come back within a week. A week to the day after that we found out what happened to the dog. Well, sort of. My brother's screams woke me up that morning. My mother and I walked outside to see what was wrong. Well, it was pretty obvious what was wrong. The skin from the top of the dog's head was laying on our back porch. Just the skin, just from the top of its head. It looked as if someone had ripped it off. The cut wasn't clean at all. We never did find the body. We buried the skin in the backyard. Episode 4, The Beast. Once I entered middle school I made a friend in the grade above me. He lived about a half-mile down the road, so that was very convenient for me. One night I was over at his house and he began telling me stories that his brother had told him. Stories about a beast with red eyes that lived in the woods and would get you if you weren't careful. He told me he'd seen it a few times. Once watching him from the top of a mulberry tree that grew across the road from his house. Once while walking back from another friend of his house, watching him from the tree line across a cornfield. Again at the same friend's house, on the roof of his garage. The fourth time he saw it, he said, was right outside of a screen door at his grandpa's house. He said it was crouched down on all fours, like some kind of an animal. The other times had been too far away for him to make out its shape. Apparently it was humanoid, but comprised entirely of darkness and shadow, except for the burning red eyes. I, of course, didn't believe him. But I still looked over my shoulder the entire way home. When I got home, I was greeted by my brother sobbing. I told him to calm down and tell me what happened. He told me that he and a friend of his were walking back from another friend's house, which I've marked on the map with an X. It should be noted that this is the same house that my friend claimed to see the beast on top of the garage. My brother said they'd gone down the trail we took through the woods on a daily basis on their way home, but it sounded like someone was following them and keeping pace. He turned around and saw two glowing red eyes set close to the ground. They then rose up to a height of over 9 feet and started coming toward them. My brother ran all the way home, presumably being chased. I've marked the spot where he supposedly encountered it along with the route he took home. It should be noted that he ran all that way in the dark. My experience with the beast was to come later. Episode 5, The Fear. After hearing about my brother's experience, I had my friend tell me everything he knew about the thing in the woods. He told me the story of his father, who had also seen it. I believe it drove his father crazy, and I also believe that my own father saw it as well, given the parallels between the two stories. The only difference was that my father and mother divorced and my father moved away. His father ended up getting shot by his mother due to the abuse his drinking brought about. 15 to 16.
Again? What's up with these dads in this freaking area? They fucking see something like remotely spooky and it freaking drives them crazy, drives them to drink and then fucking beat their wives. Oh my god. Oh man. This is supposed to be scary and I'm fucking laughing at it. It's a good story. I just find it funny like how like these guys are just like fucking they see this one scary thing and then all of a sudden they go off the deep end and start drinking and then fucking beating their ladies. Like get over it, buddy. Fucking spooky shit happens sometimes. What are you gonna do? Drinking's not the answer. Beating your lady's not the answer. Fucking man up. It hasn't attacked you yet. Like, yeah, fucking spooky shit happens. Sometimes you can't explain it. No reason to fucking get drunk and beat your wife. Okay. Okay, that's enough.
16, and fearless at this time. I naturally thought it.
Oh, wait, hold on. Dasco, you neglect the golden rule. Had to put the old man down. Yeah, had to put the old man down. It's not how fast you are, it's if you can outrun your buddy. Ah, yep. Reminds me of a joke of like these two guys are hiking in the mountains, and as they're hiking, like they spot a bear, and the bear spots them, and so like one of the hikers, like he gets down and starts putting on his running shoes, and like his friend like looks at him, is like, "What are you doing? You can't outrun a bear." And like the guy's like, "Yeah, I know." It's like, I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you. Yes, very true. Anyway, let's get on with the story. Oh man.
It would be a good idea to fuck with the thing, whatever it was, to see what it was made of. This proved to be a mistake. I went into the woods with a dagger, which I thought would protect me, I guess. I don't know what I was thinking. I sat in a clearing until it was...
Hey, you should have brought like a 12-pack of beer and and a lady to beat. Oh my god.
dark, when I started to taunt the thing. You know, general stuff that a teenager would say. Like, you're a fucking pussy and I don't believe in you, and, looks like everyone is afraid of nothing because the only ghost here is a gigantic fag. I know. I was cool, you guys haven't got to tell me. The only problem for me was that what I was doing worked. The woods went quiet. Quieter than I'd ever heard them. Then, in the distance, I heard the snap, snap, snap of something heavy taking slow, methodical steps toward me, breaking branches under its feet. Snap, snap, snap.
Aw,
I was
snap.
so brave. I stood my ground. When the sound got to about 30 feet away from me, I heard a tree crash to the ground, followed by the same snap, snap, snap. I started to get nervous at this point. If it could push a tree over, it could seriously fuck me up. The walking started to get faster. Snap, 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 snap. A sense of dread came over me at that point, which I experienced later with my face-to-face encounter. I pissed myself, dropped the dagger, and ran home. Did I mention I was home alone that night? I got inside, slammed the door behind me, locked it, deadbolted it, got a clean change of clothes, and hopped in the shower. While I was showering, the noises started. It was like something with large claws was scratching the side of the house. Sometimes it would hit the house hard enough to shake pictures off of the walls. I put on my headphones and huddled in my room until my mom got home. Which is when the noises stopped. I didn't tell her anything. The next morning I looked outside and there were no scratches on the side of the house, nor were there the dents you'd expect from something hitting it that hard. I walked out to the clearing I was in and found my dagger buried hilt deep in a tree. I tried pulling it out, but it wouldn't budge. On my last visit to that location it was no longer there. I never went into the woods at night again. Episode 6, The Encounter.
Spooky.
Things were as calm as they ever were after that, though the heavy metal coming from our walls was as loud as ever. By this point I had begun listening to metal, so it didn't bother me as much as it did the rest of the family. But I digress, I want to get to the meat of this section right away. We were at my grandpa's house the Christmas Eve after my experience in the woods. We left and were driving through a wooded section when my mom caught something in the headlights. Time seemed to slow down when I saw it. It was walking across the road, from one wooded area to the next. The whole encounter couldn't have lasted more than 15 seconds, but it seemed like 15 minutes. It stood around 9 feet tall. Its body was humanoid in shape, but it was made up entirely of darkness. Tendrils of darkness drifted off of its body when the headlights struck it. I'm unsure if that was caused by the headlights or if it was simply some strange aspect of the beast. Its arms noticeably moved, though in a manner that is hard for me to demonstrate adequately. Its entire range of motion seemed alien and unnatural to me. I was filled with dread. It turned and looked at me. Its eyes, two glowing coals floating in the physical darkness that was its body. The head turned, but not in the way yours or mine would. It was more as if the eyes shifted. It's very hard to describe. I made eye contact with it for what seemed like eternity. Then it looked forward and walked back into the woods on the other side of the road. Time slowed down and the sense of dread left me. We all looked at each other with a "did you just see that" look on our faces. We didn't speak a word about it until we got home. These days, when I bring it up to my mom, she says it was a raccoon. But the look in her eyes lets me know she remembers, and that's all I want, to know I'm not crazy. I haven't seen it since. Though the fear has never left me.
And then he started
7, the follow-up.
And then he started drinking and beating his mom. No. Oh, that's sad. Oh.
We moved a year after that.
They all began drinking and started beating each other. Right?
I went to college but kept in touch with my friend who lived in the area. He became obsessed with the thing in the woods during that period. He would often go out into the woods at night with nothing but a tape recorder and some candles. I don't know if he ever picked anything up on the tape recorder, and to be honest, I wouldn't want to hear it if he did. The last words he said to me were, "I went out into the woods and promised it my soul if it would give me name of the girl he loved." He got her. But she destroyed him. He's now a broken down junkie who lives day by day eating from trash cans and stealing for a hit of whatever drugs he can get his hands on. He was the smartest person I knew. I've since moved back to an area that's a 10-minute drive away from where these events occurred. I'm interested in going back sometime, but not without backup. If I go, I'll post the results on this board.
If you go. Oh, that's it? I guess he never went. Or he never came back. Bum, bum, bum. I guess that's what you're supposed to, like, assume from the story. That was pretty alright. But we kept poking fun at it. Okay. Bizarre Entities and Beings, Part 1 of 5. Better than beating off each other.
The following are the Mothman humanoid/cryptid encounter reports collected by ufologist John Keel. The Mothman prophecies, 2 years prior to the Silver Bridge collapsed on December 15, 1967. The bridge connected the towns of Point Pleasant, West Virginia and Gallipolis, Ohio over the Ohio River. Some of these reports are not from the area of the bridge collapse but seem to describe a similar entity. As well, some of the reports are from the general area of the bridge collapse but describe entities other than a Mothman-like being. Not all of these accounts were contained in the Mothman prophecies. Gallipolis, Ohio, early 1966, night, a woman who lived in a farm had reported her cattle being mutilated by unknown assailants. One night she went out armed with a shotgun to investigate and encountered several tall men wearing white coveralls. She chased them but they ran very fast and were able to easily jump over the fences. Point Pleasant, West Virginia, March 1966, daytime, a reliable woman said that she had observed a silver disc hovering above a Point Pleasant school. A male figure in a tight-fitting silver coverall was standing, floating, outside the open door of the object in midair, gazing intently into the school playground. He had pointed features and shoulder-length hair. A similar object, she said, landed.
Okay, he was standing, hovering around a playground, and he had pointed features. Were these pointed features in his pants? Oh, gross. Must have been Jared from Subway. Oh my god. All right, all right.
Sometime later in the yard behind her home, and was witnessed by her teenage children. A similar being was seen in this occasion as well. Salt Lake City, Utah, July 18,
Oh, hey, Salt Lake.
1966. Residents of this Mormon community reported seeing a bird about as big as a Piper Cub airplane circle the area. Some people ran for cover while others ran for their telephones. Scott, Mississippi, September 1, 1966, 2 p.m., Mrs. James Eichert reported seeing what looked like a man fluttering about the sky. Several other people also said they had seen it. No other information. Point Pleasant, West Virginia, November 1, 1966, a National Guardsman saw a large brownish man-shaped figure on the limb of a tree. No other information. Gallipolis, Ohio, November 2, 1966, 8 p.m., the witness was out behind her building getting ready to go home when there was a sudden flash directly above her. A large cylinder-shaped object then appeared and landed on the nearby parking lot. The object was completely silent and the witness was unable to move as two men descended from the object and walked towards her. The men were normal-looking but heavily tanned with pointed noses, pointed chins, and high cheekbones. They wore coverall-like uniforms.
And pointed
They asked the
penises.
witness several mundane questions using a sing-song high-pitched voice. They then walked back to their craft, which took off at high speed. The witness lived in a farm and had been having problems with missing cattle around the same time. Near Parkersburg, West Virginia, November 2, 1966, night, two men traveling by car on Highway 77 watched an elongated object descend from the sky directly in front of their vehicle. They stopped the car and saw a man emerged from the object and walk over to them. The man was human-looking and was grinning broadly. He was wearing a black coat and kept his arms folded out of sight under his armpits. The black-garbed stranger asked them several pointless questions before returning to the dark cylinder-shaped craft, which quickly rose and disappeared into the sky. This incident occurred on the same night as the Woodrow Durenberger contact landing case in the same general area. Clendenin in West Virginia, November 12, 1966, daytime. 5 men were digging a grave in a cemetery near Clendenin when something that looked like a brown human being fluttered from some nearby trees and maneuvered low over their heads. It was in sight for about a minute. Salem, West Virginia, November 14, 1966, 10:30 p.m., Newell Partridge was sitting at home when suddenly the TV blanked out. A real fine herringbone pattern appeared on the tube, and at the same time the set started a loud whining noise, winding up to a high pitch, peaking and breaking off, as if you were on a musical scale. It sounded like a generator winding up. Outside on the porch, his dog Bandit began wailing. Partridge picked up a flashlight and went outside to investigate. The dog was sitting at the end of the porch, howling down toward the hay barn in the bottom. Partridge shined a light in that direction, and it picked up 2 red circles, or eyes, which looked like bicycle reflectors. There was something about the eyes that was difficult to explain. The eyes were huge, plainly visible at a distance of 150 yards. As soon as the flashlight picked out the eyes, Bandit snarled and ran toward them. A cold chill swept over the man and he felt a wave of fear, which kept him from following the dog. That night he slept with a loaded gun beside his bed. The next day he went looking for his dog. They found tracks. At the approximate position of the eyes he found a large number of dog tracks. The tracks were going in a circle, as if the dog had been chasing his tail. Then the tracks vanished, the dog was never seen again. Point Pleasant, West Virginia, November 16, 1966, 9 p.m. Mr. and Mrs. Raymond Wamsley and Mrs. Marcella Bennett were driving to the house of Ralph Thomas. They saw a big red light maneuvering over the TNT dump area. When they arrived and got out, a big gray thing bigger than a man, with glowing red eyes rose up from the ground. They ran into the house, but the creature shuffled onto the porch and peered into windows. It was gone by the time police arrived. Point Pleasant, West Virginia, November 16, 1966, midnight. Mr. and Mrs. Steve Mallet and Mr. and Mrs. Roger Scarberry reported that their car was followed about midnight by a gray bird-like creature 6 to 7 feet tall with a 10-foot wingspan. When the car headlights struck, its eyes, 2 in diameter, glowed red. It finally scurried into a field and disappeared. Cheshire, Ohio, November 17, 1966, night, on Route 7, a gray man-shaped creature with red eyes and a 10-foot wingspread pursued a boy's car. No other information. Point Pleasant, West Virginia, November 18, 1966, night, Captain Paul Yoder and B. Enoch saw a huge bird-like creature, with big red eyes, in the TNT dump area. No other information. Campbell's Creek, West Virginia, November 20, 1966, 6 teenagers saw a gray man-sized creature with red eyes flying over the area. No other information. Charleston, West Virginia, November 21, 1966, 10:15 p.m., Richard West called police to report that a Batman was sitting on a roof next to his house. It looks like a man 6 feet tall and has a wingspread of 6 to 8 feet, he said. It had great big red eyes. It flew straight up like a helicopter. Point Pleasant, West Virginia, November 24, 1966, 7:15 a.m., Mr. Thomas Urey was driving home in daylight when the Mothman, a bird-like creature 6 feet tall and with a 10-foot wingspread, circled over his car. He speeded up to 70 to 75 miles per hour, but it kept up with him. He had been in the area of the TNT dump site. Point Pleasant, West Virginia, November 24, 1966, night, Mary Meyer, a reporter, saw the glowing red eyes of the Mothman when she visited an abandoned power plant in Point Pleasant, where it had been seen before. There are a ton of reports, hope someone out there enjoys reading them. St. Albans, West Virginia, November 26, 1966, evening, Mrs. Ruth Foster saw the Mothman standing on her front lawn. It was about 6 feet tall and had a funny little face with big red eyes that popped out. She screamed and ran into the house. New Haven, West Virginia, November 27, 1966, 10:30 a.m., Miss Connie Carpenter saw the Mothman, a tall figure in gray, standing on a golf course. It unfolded 10-foot wings and flew directly at her windshield. She saw its red eyes. Then it veered off and disappeared. Her eyes were red, swollen, and itchy for 2 weeks afterwards. St. Albans, West Virginia, November 27, 1966, night, 13-year-old Sheila Kane and her sister were walking home when they saw a being standing by the road. It was 7 feet tall, and gray and white with big red eyes. They screamed and ran home. It flew low over them. Gallipolis, Ohio, December 4, 1966, 3 p.m., at the Gallipolis airport, 5 pilots saw what at first they took for an airplane. It was a winged form about 300 feet up, traveling at 70 miles per hour without flapping its wide wings. It had a long neck and was turning its head from side to side. Point Pleasant, West Virginia, December 6, 1966, night, 2 adults, one a high school teacher, were driving near the local TNT dump site when they saw a giant gray man-like figure with glowing red eyes. Near Gallipolis, Ohio, December 7, 1966.
Was that a repeat?
4 women driving on Route 33 saw a brownish-silver man-shaped flying creature with glowing red eyes. No other information. Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Are these just repeating now?
1967, daytime, Mrs. Park McDaniel was outside her...
Okay, wow. This thing is like 2 hours and 45 minutes long. If it's just going to like keep going with these like small little snippets. I want to see. I want to hear like a full-on cohesive story. Like it feels like this has just been like just riddling off like just random accounts without going in depth. So I'm gonna pick a different story or pick a different video. Oh, here we go. Wait. Files notice chas? I don't know what that is, but it's just 2 minutes long. Maybe it's interesting. Oh, I love you too, honey kitty. Yeah, and they were repeating already. It's like, no, thank you. Okay, we're done. Once you start repeating stories in a compilation video that's like fucking over 2 hours long, once you start repeating stories that early, he's like, nah, I'm out. See ya.
Be me. Be YouTuber. Come to /X. Start taking pics of all your posts and stories. Post them on my YouTube channel. Get over 6 million total views. Get 73,000 subscribers. All this and I haven't even made a single thread here. Profit. See you later, poor fags.
This is somebody responding. Skip ahead. Well, that's like almost 2 minutes that I fucking wasted. Let's try this one. The Swedish Mimic.
Well, to start with, I will give you a short pre-story. My family owns a small house at the sea in a small region with about 250 people 30 minutes from a town called Sundsvall in then other parts of Sweden. If you look this up on a map, you will notice that there is a lot of forest at the coast, and that's where I spend most of my summers. I have done so since I was about 5 years old, and during the summer about 50 more come to live in this region. Luckily for me, I met 4 people all 1 year older than me there, and we have for the last 12 years hung out during the entire summers, so we are all naturally very close. As we have grown older, we have gotten bored with just hanging out in the village with maybe 60 inhabitants and have started to explore the place. Naturally, this means we explore the forest. 2 summers ago, one of the guys told us about a lake in the woods that his dad used to take him fishing when he was younger. I know this might sound made up, it's not. There are plenty of these small lakes inside the woods. This one just happens to have a lot of fish, so some people went there. Anyways, naturally we decided we should go there and check it out. It was like a 15-minute drive with a moped, so we went out there a lot during that summer, but never spent the night. Last summer they had all gotten their driver's license, 18 in Sweden, and we could go farther away and bring things. So then one night, sitting at my friend's house playing Monopoly or something as we usually did, one of the guys, let us call him Carl, said, "Hey, why don't we go to the lake and sleep there for a couple of nights and just fish from the lake and just bring potatoes, things to drink and other things we really need." We all thought this was a fun idea and had been thinking about doing it the previous summer, but decided that we wanted a car to bring things in and in case of an emergency. The next day at the afternoon we left. We had bought the things we needed and had a big lunch. We brought more than we need. We brought phones and a stereo, but it didn't really matter. Also, and I know this may make it less believable, we brought alcohol, but I can say that I am very sure this had nothing to do with what happened.
Okay, that whispering in the background is weird. No payoff. I want 2 minutes of my life back. The Swedish meatball. No, the Swedish mimic. But yeah, if you listen closely, you can hear whispering in the background.
But I can say that I know this may make it less believable, we brought alcohol, but I can say that I am very sure this had nothing to do with what we had. Potatoes.
Okay, we're back. Fucking stream knocked off for a little bit.
But it didn't really matter. Also, and I know this may make it less believable, we brought alcohol, but I can say that I am very sure this had nothing to do with what happened. I will say why soon. The first night was normal. We had potatoes so we could stay 4 days if we wanted, but decided that first night that we were going to save the alcohol for the second night. We didn't have too much and it would only be enough for one night of being shit-faced. The second day was normal, the night was not. Out of the 5 of us, 2 don't really like to drink. Let's call them John and Felix. We started the music and
let's call them bitch and ass.
Started to get our drink on. After a while Carl and Hannah started making out. For me this wasn't out of the ordinary, but for the others it was. John wasn't a big fan of Hannah and he and Carl were best friends, so Carl had kept it a secret from him. It had happened a few times over the past 3 summers, but he had only seen it once the first of the 3 summers, so he was surprised but didn't care too much. Felix had a crush on Hannah, and I guess he had since he was like 8, and it never really went away completely. The last and only time he had seen it, he had started to cry and claimed his girlfriend that he had never mentioned earlier had been in an accident. It is safe to say he did not like it. So when he got up and said that he wasn't feeling well, and was going to take his car and go home to sleep because he wasn't feeling well, I wasn't surprised and pretended to believe him after some fake, "No, please don't go. Are you sure you have to?" It wasn't weird at all that he left his stuff and said he would be back tomorrow, so there was no reason bringing it with him and left for his car. What was weird was when he came back after a while. I can't say how long it had been since I wasn't paying attention to my phone and I was pretty drunk. I remember thinking that he was acting weird but thought that it was probably because of the previous makeout session. However, after a while I started to come back and he was still the same. He usually talks a lot but had been so quiet the entire time, only answered questions, and when he did, it was just short answers. I remember feeling that it started to get a bit creepy, honestly. I didn't think he was still that obsessed with her, and even if he was, why didn't he just go home? Did he just stay to see what they did? This is something that I didn't recall upon until I started to read the posts on /x/ about this a while back, but now I can remember clearly how he tried to get one-on-one with all of us all the time. The only times he started a conversation was when someone got up. He instantly got up as well and asked where the person was going and he could join. The one I recall the most and I thought was the oddest was when he asked Hannah if he could join her when she said she was going to pee. At this point I could see that my sober friend also had a feeling something was up. We looked at each other and he got up and said, "I need to call my girlfriend," and quickly Felix was up, but before he could speak, John added, "Anon, could you join me? I need to ask you about that thing." At that point I remember looking at Felix and his eyes were just blank, as they had been since he got back. The conversation was quick. We both agreed that something was up, and since he is the only one in the group except me that believes in paranormal shit, we both agreed that this is probably nothing, but we both quickly shared that something could be up. We agreed to make the others go home with us, and
He
went
is
back
the
to camp.
meatball.
Carl and Hannah were looking pretty tired, so it was easy to convince the two drunken tired people to go home for the night. We had two cars, one belonging to Felix.
Okay, I'm sure I'm not just hearing things, but you guys also hear the whispering in the background, right? Or is it just me? Am I just too tired? Oh my. Oh.
And one to John, and since they were the sober ones they would be the drivers. Now we just had to make sure he would go in a car alone. He did not seem pleased with the decision to leave, but we didn't really care. And luckily for us, he told us that he had parked his car elsewhere when he had almost left, because he started driving and then came back. We didn't really care and parted ways. The next day, after almost no sleep and having John spend the night in my house, we went together to Felix's house just 50 meters away from mine. I remember him eating breakfast and sitting on his laptop. When we came close, he came out and said, "What the hell is your problem?" I was shocked and asked
Whispers.
what the hell he was talking about. He then filled me in on his night, how I had come after him on his way to the car and asked if he wanted to go for a walk since he seemed down. He had accepted and we had walked for a while. Then I had told him I had to go for a pee and then I was gone. He was surprised but figured that drunk as I was, I had gone back to the others. He was angry about this but had taken his car and gone home. This was 2 hours before we had left. I remember John saying something like, "All right, haha, good one, you really had us scared, sorry if we made you angry or something." Felix looked surprised back and I told him what he meant. The face he made then made it clear that he had not played a prank on us. After that we sat down after a while. We started talking. We talked for like 30 minutes, everyone wanted it to be that no one was messing around, and since that talk we have all pretended like it never happened. I realize there might be gaps and grammatical errors etc. So sorry about that, but I didn't really care. For those of you that thinks it's bullshit, I honestly couldn't care less. Feel free to ask questions if you want to. This is OC and I only wrote it on request, never writes long texts, and I realize this is shitty, but it's simply the truth.
Spooky. That one was pretty alright. Alright. Alright, love. Gonna maybe go ahead and save the background for later. Been streaming for almost 3 hours now, and I think for the most part it's done. I just need your final approval, and also just maybe like we'll figure out what to do with the background later. But it's looking good. Anyway, I think that'll be it for now. Thanks to all those who participated in chat. It's always awesome interacting with all of you. All of the both of you. As always is my lovely moderator Melody, and Dasco Draws is here. And fucking big props and shout out go to both of them. Just fucking saving my ass with these like these tire payments I've been dreading about, and just made it a whole lot easier with their combined efforts, like taking care of like two of the three remaining payments I have left on my tires, so I'll be able to like fucking pay them off like same as cash value without having to worry about all the fucking extra rental fees and everything. So it's gonna be fucking awesome. So thanks to both of you. You guys kick all the ass ever that was ever meant to be kicked. Kick them skyward and sky high. Just fucking awesome. Thank you. Much appreciation for both of you. You guys are gonna spoil me. But yeah, that much closer to like fucking paying this off and just fucking getting all this debt off of me. But freaking thank you. But yeah, to all the lurkers who may be watching or watching later, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any like suggestions of what you want to see me draw, leave them in the comment section below. And if you're down for it, and if you're able to, please donate to help me fund me and like help me produce more art and projects and such. And the link for that is in the description section below, and it'll take you to my Ko-fi page. There you can donate any dollar amount. If you do, it'd be much appreciated. And big shout outs would go to you, just like fucking Melody and Dasco Draws, just freaking helping me out. Just fucking awesome. Anyway, that'll be it. Until next time, this has been Johnston Blackhorse, the one and only, and I shall check y'all later. Sweet. Bye.